Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We're back. I'm excited. I'm ready to rock, man. Episode 28. Can't believe we're on episode 28 of this. We are moving. Excited about today. No, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Playbook Podcast. This is episode 28. Can't believe we're on episode 28 of this thing, but we are. We're keeping it moving. But we are excited about today. We got Trey Lopez back in Texas soil.
Didn't want to leave, man.
He didn't want to leave. He was with his fiance, and they had a great time. But we're glad you made it back safely, and we're excited you're back home. But yeah, guys, we're excited about today. We got a lot to talk about. A lot of basketball, a lot of college basketball, a little bit of football, and some golf, of course. Because my goodness, I'm excited today. Because my favorite golfer finally won a tournament that was actually important. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But, guys, we're going to hop right in here. We're going to jump right into some basketball. So, over the last couple of days, there's been some really important games that happened. I believe it was yesterday. Yep, yesterday, the Orlando Magic played the Cleveland Cavaliers, snapping the Cavaliers' 16-game win streak. Winning in Cleveland, the Orlando Magic scored 108 points. The Cavs scored 103. Paulo Banchero added 24 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. Franz Wagner, 22 points. And Wendell Carter Jr., 16 points and 14 rebounds. So this is finally the end of the Cleveland Cavaliers' incredible run. They've been playing great for the past couple of months. Do you guys think this really means anything at all? Is it just one of those things where a really good team was winning a lot and they finally – just maybe didn't show up for a game or something of that nature? Does this concern you guys at all?
Just a little bit, not a lot, but because I give credit to Paulo Banchero. He's a baller, man. That guy's a real baller. And the Magic have a lot in the future going forth, because I never thought. I think before he was hurt, he was fifth in the Eastern Conference, and then he got hurt apparently, and he was out for a couple months, and I don't know how long he was out for, but. I was a little concerned because I think that the Cavs were on a 16-game win streak, and that is insane. That's pretty insane, pretty good too towards the end of the season. So I hope this ain't a little bit a big deal, but to me it's a little concerning, despite the fact that you had everybody starting. You have everybody starting, man. I mean, the bench wasn't that good at all last night for the Cavs bench, so. It's a little concerning, though.
Yeah. In my opinion, I just think, you can only win for so long until you lose one.
Yeah.
I don't think this makes me concerned for the Cavs at all. I mean, they they lost to a 32-37 Magic. So,
yeah.
I mean, people have good games, people have bad games. So I just think this was just one of those not so great games for the Cavaliers, and they really didn't lose by much at that. So I'm not really concerned for the Cavs.
Yeah, I'm probably right in between you guys. So I'm not like this is nothing, but I'm not like this is something. I think it's something nothing. That makes no sense, but hear me out. So it was in the middle of a really good streak where they were playing well. They lost. I know, it's just a regular season game. It doesn't matter. The playoffs are rapidly approaching. We're going to start the playoffs very soon. You want to be your best when playoffs start. You don't want to be dropping games like this to very beatable teams. And while Paulo Banchero, led the team in scoring, he was 6 of 22 from the field. He didn't have an efficient night scoring the ball. And like Trey said, Cleveland's bench was almost a no-show outside of Ty Jerome. The rest of the bench combined for a total of 10 points, and Ty Jerome had 12. So a little concerning there. DeAndre Hunter didn't play well. So it kind of, it shows that this team maybe isn't as good as we thought, but at the same time, it could, like Jaden said, maybe it's just an off day. Maybe it's just an off day. So, props to the Magic for being able to take that win. That's a tough win, and they definitely needed that as a team. So, we're going to move on to the Lakers here. The Lakers played yesterday as well. They played the Suns. The Lakers finally get a win after dropping, I believe it was 4 games in a row. So they lost LeBron. By the way, guys, it looks like LeBron's pretty important to this team. I don't know. They lose LeBron. They lose 4 in a row. Maybe it's a coincidence, but I don't think so. It kind of shows you how much LeBron fills the gaps that this team has, especially defensively. His ability to guard big men is much missed when he's out. But the Lakers finally picked up a win. They've had a slew of injuries. I'm talking pretty much everybody. A couple of games ago, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jackson Hayes, Luka, LeBron, and Gabe Vincent were all out. It's like, and Rui. It's like all of your starters. Rui is still out, of course, but they're able to beat the Suns. The Luka Doncic is like the owner of the Suns, so I was not worried about this game at all. Luka 33, 11, and 8. He looked good yesterday. He looked healthy and ready to rock. Jackson Hayes is apparently Derek Lively, I guess now. That's just what Luka did to him. He scored 19 points, 8 for 10 from the field, 6 rebounds, a steal and a block. Like, okay, like, all right, I guess you're just Derek Lively now. But this team finally looks healthy. They're still missing LeBron and Rui, but for the most part, healthy, and they'll get healthier as time goes on. But how dangerous do you guys think the Lakers are?
When healthy, I think they can win it all. Yesterday, LeBron was, I don't know if you saw pregame, guys, but he was on the court yesterday warming up and basically working out. And JJ Redick said that he's a day-by-day player right now, so he could come back this week.
Yeah,
I think the big piece of this Lakers team too is they're right now first in offensive defensive rating, 113, which is pretty good. Number 1 right now in the NBA. No, I should second my bad behind OKC. So I think for 2 of the top 5 scorers in NBA history, especially in playoffs wise, they can win it all. I don't care who's at their best. Boston looks shaky. Boston looks a lot shaky than usual. They shoot too much threes, and they ISO so much. The Nuggets are inconsistent this year. It's kind of weird to say that, but it's a little inconsistent. They lost against Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
That buzzer beater game-winning shot yesterday. They lost the game. That looks shaky. Jokic said on the press conference yesterday that, you know what, I'm nervous about going to the playoffs. He said that yesterday in the press conference. So, and I think Cleveland is too young. OKC's too young too. And the one thing about LeBron and JJ Redick is this. LeBron made a good point on the podcast when they had the Money Game podcast. The IQ they have throughout their whole lives is the most important thing in playoffs. The experience behind it. So when healthy, Luka, LeBron, Austin Reeves has been balling out so far. I'd rather have him as my third option winning the championship than anybody else right now in the NBA. So right now, I think they can win it all when 100% healthy. They have LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and really good perimeter defense for once since 2020 NBA championship, that final run. So I have them winning it all if they're healthy.
All right. Jaden?
Yeah, I mean, they're not fully healthy and right now, and they came back with the win after they got a few of their players back. So I think a healthy Lakers team is a scary Lakers team. Especially like Trey was talking about their defense. Their defense this season has really stepped up, and they're really able to put some good pressure on a lot of teams. Get LeBron back, and hopefully they can. I hope they can make it pretty far into the playoffs. I can see them making it pretty far, if not all the way. So have to see.
Just got one thing to say. Switching lanes, Raising Canes, blocked by Janes, Lakers in 5.
Oh man,
Lakers in 5.
That's a good one, bro.
All right. My boy Shannon Sharp on TV telling everybody OKC, KFC, UFC, Lakers in 5.
SGA, PGA, USA, Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say, guys.
Yeah. And before you go, I think Anthony Davis leaving the Lakers is probably the best thing that ever happened to this team. So,
I mean, it really helps when you get Luka, but I just echo what you guys have said. They aren't healthy, but when they're even semi-healthy, they're winning games. LeBron's going to come back healthy, like really healthy. He's going to have multiple weeks off. The rest of those nagging injuries will be healed up, and he'll be invigorated, ready to go. Rui will be extremely healthy. And, yeah, I mean, Austin Reeves over here dropping 40 points, and like they should have won that Nuggets game where everybody was out. It was literally Austin Reeves and friends pretty much. And
the refs were terrible that game.
They barely lost that game. And the refs, I mean, the Lakers got it was like a 20 free throw difference. It was the Nuggets shot like 37 and then the Lakers shot like 18 or something like that. It was ridiculous. And they lost by like 4. So, yeah, I mean, we've seen what this team can do healthy. They had that big win streak before everyone went down. But, you know, if Luka's healthy, playing confident, ready to go, you're going to get him raising his abilities in the playoffs like he always does, in LeBron raising his abilities in the playoffs. Yeah, man, I just, you know, there's a reason Shannon Sharp keeps doing that, because this is a dangerous team. I really think the only team that can beat them in the West is OKC, just because of how complete they are. But man, you get playoff LeBron and Luka, man, I don't know. We will see. But we're going to jump to the other side of the ball. The Suns are in complete disarray. They're 31 and 37 on the season. You really wouldn't have thought that going into the year. But there's been reports that Kevin Durant will be leaving this summer. After the season, he'll either be getting traded. I believe he will be getting traded this summer. So, I mean, what do you guys think about this Phoenix Suns situation?
Yeah, you know, I kind of put a little bit of blame on him a little bit because he wanted to go there with Chris Paul and D-Book, and Chris Paul unfortunately left. And I think he was a hard soul of that team. I don't think they should have traded him. And I kind of blame a little bit of ownership because Chris Paul will hold you accountable no matter what. He don't care how old you are. He don't care if you're all-time great. He made Devin Booker show off in those playoff runs that they had in 2021 especially. So, and then Kevin Durant comes in after, and I think if he goes to another team, he's really hurting his legacy. It's kind of like Aaron Rodgers in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He's hurting his legacy even more. And unfortunately, he's going to be like, he's a diva. And Kevin Durant's one of the all-time greats in NBA history, a top 5 scorer of all time in the history of the NBA. But if he goes to another team, what if something happens and then he fails again? Then what? He's proven he can't win without a system team like the Golden State Warriors. And I think it's either stay in Phoenix or probably, I don't know, hang it up, because I think his title runs are behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Kevin Durant, you know, I like him as a player. I've always liked him. Enjoyed watching him. You know, him going to a new team could do one of two things for him. He can go and, you know, just keep playing the same way that he's playing and nothing changes. And like Trey said, it'll probably hurt his legacy a little bit. Or he can go to a new team and, you know, maybe he turns things around and he starts playing really well. But, you know, Kevin Durant's getting old and it's kind of starting to show a little bit.
Yeah.
So, you know, if he can go to a new team and he can start playing better, then, you know, that's awesome. But, you know, I don't think it's him needing a new team is what the issue is.
Yeah. No, I agree with both. I don't know what a good fit for him would be team-wise because, like Trey said, we've never seen him win where he's the leader of the team. Because when he won with the Warriors, he was the best player on that team, but he was not the leader of the team. That was Steph Curry. Steph Curry and Draymond were the leaders of that team. It was not KD. KD likes to show up and hoop, and that's totally fine. But I don't really know where he could go for him to really fit in. So it'll be interesting to see what his suitors are, who's looking for him. Because even though he is older, he's still an elite scorer of the basketball, and he's a 3-level scorer. He's a great shooter. He can still do the thing where he just goes crazy. That's definitely something. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys. I really don't think that. I really don't see what team's going to be wanting him very, very badly. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. So we're going to move on. The Thunder played the Bucks yesterday as well. It was a pretty busy day in the NBA yesterday. SGA goes for 31 points, 2 rebounds, 8 assists on 11 for 27 shooting. Not the best shooting night, but he was still effective because, of course, you know that man's going to get his free throws one way or another. He found the line 11 times, made 9 of them. And Isaiah Joe added 19 off the bench. Isaiah Hartenstein had a very good game, 24 and 12. Giannis was limited offensively. He only shot 15 times, made 7 of them, had a 21-point triple-double, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. And Damian Lillard they only shot 83 times. It's a very interesting game. I don't really know. I mean, does this game say anything to you that we don't already know about either team?
I think Doc Rivers should just get fired. Go back to ESPN, Doc Rivers. I'm sorry, he's just not. He's not. I mean, his time is up. This ain't Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Kendrick Perkins no more. This is after that. What has he done?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
He was good. I liked him as an analyst on ESPN or TNT because he was not in the game. But other than that, I'm just tired of that guy.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about both of these teams, multiple times throughout the season, and the Thunder's a legit team, especially with SGA. And the Bucks, I said it a few weeks ago, whenever that was, I said that Giannis isn't going to be able to do it by himself. I mean, he got Damian Lillard, who scored 19, but that's not even going to do it. They got, the other 3 players on their lineup, one of them barely crossed double digits.
Yeah.
You got 6 points from Taurean Prince, 10 points from Kyle Kuzma, and 8 points from Brook Lopez.
It's not going to cut it.
No. So, I mean, I don't think it's anything we haven't already talked about.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Thunder are a legit team. I think they should probably be the title favorites. Honestly, even if I were to pick the Lakers to win, I still feel like the Thunder have deserved to be the title favorites. They're the most complete team. They have the guy who's probably going to win MVP and SGA. And, Chet Holmgren being back is huge for them. He's played extremely well, and he was very big for them when they beat the Celtics. And, I mean, they did this without Jalen Williams, their second best player. And they've been winning these games without him. It's just a really good team. They shoot the ball well. They defend well. They find a way to the foul line. Specifically, Shai finds a way to the foul line, and they're a complete team. And and like I said, I just don't. Like Jaden said, we've talked about the Bucks, and I don't really know. So I don't really know, but that leads us to we'll move on to the Warriors here. So the Warriors have been on quite a nice streak. I want to bump them up real quickly here because I do want to talk about them. I want to go first on this because I've seen some things about this team. So I said I have said, when they traded for Jimmy Butler, I said it was not a needle mover. And they've won quite a few games. Let's see here. They went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they're 12-1 in their last 13. Okay. So you might be thinking, well, Nick, you were wrong. So you're going to admit you're wrong. No, I'm not going to admit I was wrong because I'm not wrong. And I'm going to tell you why. So here's who they beat in that stretch. Okay. You ready? Just take a walk with me here. So they beat the Rockets without Fred VanVleet. Okay. Fred VanVleet's their point guard, the guy who gets everything going. So it's a good win, but they had someone out and the Warriors were completely healthy. So let's move on to the next team. They beat the Kings. Okay. Are we blown away by a Kings win? They blew the Kings out. They did what they needed to do. They beat an inferior team. Good for them. I'm glad. That doesn't really move me. I expect them to beat the Kings with or without Jimmy Butler. They beat the Mavericks. Do I even need to talk about that? Well, the Mavericks might have to forfeit games because they don't have enough players on their team. So we don't need to talk about that. They beat the Hornets. The Hornets suck. They beat the Magic. Okay, the Magic are at the time were 29-32, and they needed 56 points from Steph Curry to beat him. Okay, great. You beat a middling Eastern Conference team. None of these wins have been very impressive yet. They lose to the Sixers. They beat the Hornets again. They beat the Knicks without Jalen Brunson. They beat the Nets, who suck. They beat the Pistons. That's a pretty good win. The Pistons are pretty good. I don't know if anyone would say that they're a legit fantastic team. I mean, Asar Thompson did go down in that game. He was only able to play 18 minutes, and they won by 5. So another injured team. Okay, cool. No signature wins yet. They beat the Trailblazers. The Trailblazers are 28-38. I don't know how excited everyone is about that. Jeremy Grant was out. Okay, that's not really a great win to me. They won. They needed to win. They beat the Kings again. Okay, the Kings guys just aren't like the greatest team. They're just they're a 500 team. And then they beat the Knicks again by 3 points without Jalen Brunson. Okay, so none of those wins were against a fantastic, healthy team. None of those wins were against a contender. And none of those wins should impress anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. They're just doing what they need to do right now. They're beating teams that are worse than them. So I don't think I should come out here and be very impressed. If they beat the Celtics, the Thunder, the Lakers, or any other fantastic team, the Cavs, the Grizzlies, any of those other teams that are playing extremely well right now, during that stretch, it'd be different. But they didn't. They're playing the Nuggets today, and Jokic and Murray aren't playing. They're just playing injured teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not blown away by this run. I'm sorry. You can call me a hater or whatever, but they're just doing what they need to do. They're setting themselves up. They're trying to chase that 5 seed. I don't think they'll be able to get there. They're a couple games back from the Lakers, and they're 2.5 games back from the Lakers, and the Lakers just got Luka back, and they're about to get LeBron and Rui back. So I don't see how they're going to catch them, but they are standing pretty firm at that 6 seed, which is great. They need to do that. They need to stay out of the play-in, but I don't think that this streak proves to me they're contenders. Do you guys think I'm crazy or what?
No, I agree with you. I think this is all luck, and I think Jimmy Butler helped them a lot. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, though, I'm not going to say they're a legit contender. Today I was going to watch the game between Nuggets and the Warriors. But guess what? I want to see Draymond versus Jokic. I want to see Jamal Murray versus Steph Curry. Because last year in this season, the Warriors got swept in the regular season by the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
Nuggets swept them in the regular season without Jimmy Butler, with Klay Thompson on that team still, who was still the third option, one of the 3 best players in that team right now at the time, and Draymond Green going up, apparently the best defender of all time according to his book, got cooked by Jokic last year.
Mm-hmm.
Until I see this team be a good team, I don't see them no contender at all. I don't. They lost to the Lakers. What was this game?
That was a. Let me see here. I have it right here. They lost to the Lakers on February 6th.
Month ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, man, I'm tired. I hate that fan base a lot. I hate the Warriors fan base.
LeBron had 42.
Yeah, I hate that Warriors fan base, because no one gives LeBron credit or Lakers credit at all.
No Luka. Luka didn't play either, by the way.
Luka doesn't get credit even when they win. So you know what? Neither does LeBron. Instead, LeBron's gonna trade Luka, but you know what? I hate that fan base. I don't like them. They're annoying, and because of that reason, I think this team ain't legit, and I don't think they'll go that far in the playoffs. If they get a first round game matchup that they have, then sure they probably lose.
I mean, if the playoffs started right now, they'd be playing Denver.
Yeah, Denver's cooking them, bro. Mm-hmm. Denver's cooking them. I don't care how good Jimmy Butler is. He's not gonna do that. No, Jimmy is gonna lose against Jokic.
Yeah.
And you got playoff Jamal Murray. Over.
Yeah. Jaden, what do you think?
Hold on, I'm pulling something up real quick.
You're good.
So, one more thing.
I mean, also the Timberwolves are right on their tail. They're both tied for that. They're both 2.5 games back of the Lakers. So they might not even get that seed because the Timberwolves are on an 8-game win streak. They're also playing, they're also winning a lot of games right now. And they have some decent ones in there. They beat the Nuggets, which is a better team than the Warriors have beaten in their entire streak. So
yeah. And Ant-Man was player of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, Ant-Man's been playing really good during this stretch. He listens to the pod, so
yeah. He said, you know what?
He heard me. He said, you know what, Nick? I'm gonna be the face of the league. Hey, and what I say, go do it, man. I love your game. I love your game. But
I think the NBA is pushing him to be that because no matter that's what they did to LeBron and Kobe.
Yeah. So I was just pulling up. Jimmy Butler. Obviously he hasn't been playing terrible since he got traded. So he got traded February 8th. And that was his first game against the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
And that game he ran. Okay, my screen is tweaking. Sorry. Scored 25 points. And then, he started out hot. He went 25, 20, 21, 19, 17, 18. And then he goes for 6, 5, 13. So, you still see a lot of inconsistency from him. He's not I'm not saying that he's playing bad by any means. But, I don't think them adding Jimmy Butler is what was going to save them. I mean, we talked about that already.
Mm-hmm.
He's contributing. But, yeah, no, we also haven't seen the Warriors, play against a tough team. What happens when Jimmy Butler plays a tough team? Is he gonna get locked up and shut down, or is he gonna keep playing like this? That's kind of what we need to look at and see.
I mean, we literally haven't seen them play like a good, healthy team. So yeah.
But they never want to give LeBron credit.
I mean, since he got there, like Jaden said, against the Bulls, they went Bucks, no Giannis, Mavericks. They went Rockets with no Fred VanVleet or Tari Eason. Then they went Mavs, don't even need to say it. Kings, guys, the Kings, Mavs, Hornets, Magic, Sixers. We went through the rest of that, but they haven't played a good, healthy team yet. So I don't know. I don't really feel like, I agree with everything you guys said. And I want to see him play a good, healthy team and win consistently. So yeah, but we're going to move on here. For you guys, what would be your dream NBA Finals?
Okay, so I thought about this a lot. I first had this wasn't a shock y'all, but I'm gonna say something that my Lakers versus Cavs. I think LeBron going back home to Cleveland, and then the team and taking away the championship, the second championship that he won in Cleveland, his hometown hero that where he's beloved now, and top of that, the story behind that with Bronny and that team too, and I want to see that matchup because I think it will be a great story for the NBA. Headliners, that's what the NBA wants. That's what sports is about. Headliners, you know. Yes, I know Lakers and Boston's a rival for the ages, but I want to see LeBron versus his former team that he won a championship with for the first time in 52 years.
Yeah.
And Boston and Lakers, we see it all the time. I mean, I get that. You know, you have ain't the same rival like it was back in the 2000s with Kobe and KG, but I'd rather see LeBron versus his former team, his hometown team, where he grew up at. People will root against him. You might see him. You might see again saying, "Oh, you know, game booed." And I don't ever remember this game, but when we were at the when he was in Miami, by the Cleveland, he got booed. People putting lead witnesses, you hater, you're hypocrite, costing bashing him on TV. I mean, yeah, fans burning his TV on national television, and I want to see that. That would be a great headliner. That would be like a Duke versus North Carolina in college basketball. The rival behind that. Even top of that, even an LSU football team, the college football team, how they go crazy in Penn State as well. So I think that matchup between LeBron versus Cleveland will be my dream matchup to watch, and I'll be in front of my seat like, wow, LeBron versus hometown hero team. It's crazy.
Yeah,
the team is, hey, come on, LeBron, at 18 years old, take the keys to the franchise. So
yeah,
that's what I would rather see.
Okay, Jaden.
Yeah, that's a good one. I was thinking about that one, but you know, I have to go Lakers and Celtics.
Yeah, just the history.
Yeah, the amount of history that they have with each other, and I want to see the Lakers go and beat the Celtics.
Yeah. So I didn't actually think about the one that Trey just mentioned, the Cavs Lakers one. That would be very awesome. That'd be really interesting. Also Lakers Celtics would be, and of course, you know, it's just LeBron's still the face of the league, so the team he's on is the one that, you know, would draw the most attention if they made it to the finals. So it's probably going to be Lakers on any of them. I'll do a different one. So if the Lakers didn't make it, what finals would I want to see? I'm going to say, I think Thunder Celtics would be pretty good. There's no real story there, but it would just be fun to watch. Thunder Cavs, just the two best teams all year. But for my true dream one would just be Lakers Celtics or Lakers Cavs. I think I'd actually pick Lakers Cavs over Lakers Celtics. I if you'd asked me before the segment, I would have said Lakers Celtics, but Trey brought up a really good point. And he changed my mind on that one, so I'm gonna have to go with that as well. So, let's go to something that has nothing to do with the finals. There's a report that the Mavs may have to start forfeiting games due to the lack of enough players available. I mean, isn't this just the most cursed season ever, guys? I mean,
yeah,
this is
insane,
this is what you get for trading Luka. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for those fans, man. My uncle's a Mavs fan. Before Luka, he was a Dirk Nowitzki fan, and he even met Dirk when he was younger. I feel bad for that franchise. I feel bad for the whole city of Dallas overall with the Cowboys and the Mavs.
Rough
man,
go, man.
It's like, what a year for this team. I would have thought Luka leaving the Mavs in my life. I thought he was a Mav for life, and then when Nico Harrison just hit his head and had a concussion, and he went and he traded his best player. So Nico Harrison, you're fired.
You are fired.
Yeah, the Mavs were actually, before the Luka trade, they were looking pretty decent.
Yeah, they were.
They were.
And the literal second they traded Luka, they went downhill from there. I mean, they lost AD in his first game.
And then they lost Kyrie shortly after.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're a karma person or a whatever you want to call a person, that's definitely what that was.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
I bet they're kicking themselves right now at the fact that they traded Luka, and now Luka's living it up in LA.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
sad day for the Mavs.
Yeah, it's just truly sad. I agree with you guys. It's just, man, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. Another NBA news. Paul George is out for the season. He had injections in his knee and in his shoulder. I saw that. I mean, is this it for PG? What do you guys think? Is PG done?
Oh, he's done, man. He is done. I hate to say it too. I mean, I wonder what would have happened if the first injury had in the FIFA, well, not FIFA, what's it called? Something with USA basketball in 2014. I wonder what would have happened if he didn't get hurt right there. Because right after that injury, he wasn't putting up good numbers at all. He was averaging 23 points per game, 22 points per game. Even as a Clipper with Kawhi Leonard, averaging 25 points per game, which is the only one he's ever hit.
It's pretty good.
But other than that, he's going downhill after that, man. Like, after that injury he had, he lost a little bit. He lost a lot of his athleticism, a lot. Lost it all, basically. He couldn't. Before, he was doing windmill dunks, 360 dunks. And his game is smooth, don't get me wrong, but it's done, man. I mean, it sucks to say that, but after the Clippers, he's been going downhill. And if I were him, I'd stick to a podcast and then go from there. Just go back to podcasting, bro. Your team's not legit.
Oh man,
I don't know if Joe and B giving him the curse down too, because Joe that guy's always hurt too. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
know. I think he's still gonna come back. I don't think he'll let himself be done. Whether or not he needs to be, I don't know. But he's had a great career, and as far as his career being done, I don't know. I feel like he's still gonna try and make a comeback, come back and play. But whether I don't think he's gonna come back and start playing great all of a sudden or anything. We've seen a subtle decline in him over the past few seasons. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. It's kind of sad, but he's just not the same guy he used to be. And he's on a needle mover, and he was pretty solid on the Thunder. He was really good. And then he had a couple good years with the Clippers, but man, it's sad. So I just would have to agree with Trey. Just, go focus on that. And just, maybe try one more time, go to a really good team, see if you can get yourself a ring chase. I mean, I don't know. But and in other news, the Steph Curry finally hit I wouldn't say finally is a good word. Steph Curry hit 4,000 threes, the first ever to do so. What do you guys think this means for his legacy?
Okay, so I'm gonna go first on this. I'm gonna do it. I gave him credit for what he's done for the NBA, but I think he kind of ruined it too, just a little bit. Because now everybody's shooting threes now. I get that. It's people can't dunk like Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe. I get that. Same time though, it's a copycat league.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the 17, 18 Warriors and 19 Warriors, kind of ruined the NBA just a little bit with their viewership going down. Because I'm gonna be real, people are tired of seeing threes. People want to see a little bit of physical basketball. College basketball sometimes is more fun to watch than the NBA overall. College basketball, guys, with even last season, but even this season too overall, and even with the NBA Olympics going on last year, they had more physical basketball than the NBA does overall. You know, and that kind of bends a little bit on Adam Silver just a little bit for extending it this far. But as far as legacy overall, kudos to him. You're not the GO Curry. Sorry to make y'all mad out there to Curry's fans, but it's the truth. And overall, though, congrats to the guy. But at the same time, though, your team kind of ruined the NBA just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, 4,000 3-pointers alone is crazy.
Yeah, that's
a crazy number. But I mean, I kind of agree with what Trey said in a way. Curry's really the one who changed the game, and when it comes to 3-point shooting, like you said, everybody really does it now. You got even big men shooting threes.
Yeah.
So
true.
But doesn't at the end of the day, he still made 4,000 3-pointers, and you can't take that away from him. So, congratulations, Steph Curry. 4,000 3-pointers. It's a big accomplishment.
Yeah. So I don't want to be a hater, so I'm not going to be a hater. I actually like Steph Curry. I just don't like his fans. 4,000 3-pointers is unbelievable. I think that we might have seen I guess LeBron's record was a couple years ago when he broke the scoring record, but him hitting the 40,000 points and all that craziness. I think we saw 2 unbroken records in the same season. I don't think we'll ever see anyone shoot this many or hit this many threes. Maybe we will, just because the game's kind of heading in that direction where there's lots of threes being shot. But no, he's a fantastic player. He's undersized. He's only 6'3", and he's not a very big 6'3". He's not strong. He is very quick. I think his quickness is underrated. His speed was underrated, especially in his prime. But he found a way to be effective on the court at his size, and that was by being a deadly shooter. And there's a reason his jersey's the highest sold jersey is because guys, little kids can feel like they can be Steph Curry. Like, I can be Steph because he shoots.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not as big as the other guys. Neither am I. So he's a very relatable player in that way. He's not very relatable when you watch him because he shoots ridiculous shots and hits craziness. But for little kids and younger kids growing up watching him, they can relate to him. Sometimes it's hard to relate to LeBron when he's 40 and dunking on guys. Sometimes it's hard to relate to Victor Wembanyama. He's 9 feet tall, and it's all those different things. It can be hard to relate to Ant-Man when he's jumping over guys and dunking. But he's done great for himself. I do agree with Trey that his influence has made the game different. And kind of hard to watch it at times. I think the Celtics are a good example of that. They'll shoot 63s in a game. It's just like, bro, like drive, just go to the bucket, man. And it's funny that I say that because when I play basketball, I literally just shoot threes, but that doesn't matter because I'm not a professional. I drive sometimes, but I'm not a professional basketball player, so I'm allowed to say that. But no, big ups to Steph Curry. Huge achievement for him. Really, really awesome. So, yeah, big ups to him. We're going to move on to some NFL guys. I believe it was yesterday, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins both re-signed with the Bengals. And if you guys know, this was a huge ordeal. It was a long thing coming, and they both re-signed. Let me pull up their salaries here. So they re-signed Jamar Chase on a 4-year, $161 million deal with $112 million guaranteed. That is ridiculous numbers. And then T. Higgins agreed to a 4-year, $115 million deal that is guaranteed for the first 2 years. So Chase's deal is the annual salary of $40.25 million a year, which is the highest average annual salary for a non-quarterback. So I'm going to break this down in 2 questions. 1, do you think that this was good for the Bengals / do you think that Jamar and T deserved it? And 2, do you think that this will help Joe Burrow stay with the Bengals long-term after his contract is over?
I think they help. I think they really deserved it a lot. Jamar Chase won Triple Crown last year, and there's only a few players that have done that. Cooper Kupp, Sterling Sharp, and there's one more too. I forgot his name.
It's probably some old head.
Triple Crown wide receivers. And it was and also Steve Smith Sr. That's who it was. Steve Smith Sr. And then Jamar Chase won Triple Crown as well with them, so he deserves it a lot. I mean, last year towards the end of the season, he was probably a top 5 MVP, and he also was probably at least the best player in wide receiver in the NFL last year.
Oh, absolutely.
Deserved it a lot. T. Higgins deserved it too. Joe Burrow, I think this will help Joe Burrow stay a lot. But I think their defense needs up a lot because their defense was terrible last year. So was their coach, and so was their O-line too. So give him some O-line. Joe Burrow said on public that he wants to see his O-line improve and defense improve, or he ain't going to stay. He said that on national television, Super Bowl week. So hope he stays though, because last year he had if he had a better record, he probably would have won MVP last year.
I agree. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think as far as them deserving the money, yes. What it kind of sounds like to me, though, and call me wrong, call me out. I'm not. It almost sounds like that the Bengals were trying to get them to stay. Yeah. Offering them, this amount of money. But who knows? Maybe they wanted to stay. But that's a lot of money. Either way, that's a lot of money. Give me just a sliver of that, please.
Yeah, I'll take a bit.
But I think this could help Joe Burrow stay. Having 2 good players under him. So hopefully it all works out for him.
Yeah, I agree. Jamar Chase is, I think, the best. I mean, he's at worst the second best wide receiver in the NFL. You obviously want to keep a talent like him. T. Higgins is awesome. He's probably the best number 2 receiver in the NFL because I believe he could be a number 1 on a lot of teams. But I just want to say something real quick. Jamar Chase won me my fantasy league. So, of course, he deserves $40 million a year. I'm a champ because of him. All right. So, yes, he deserved that money. I'm glad he got the bag. I'm glad T. Higgins got the money. And I think this was, the Bengals saying, hey, Joe, we don't spend a lot of money as a franchise, but here you go. Here's your favorite wide receiver, Jamar Chase that played in college together. And here's T. Higgins. And we're going to let you you can keep him. So that's really good. I agree with Trey. They do need to work on the defense and the O-line as well. I would draft O-line or defense, whoever's best available when they pick, but definitely try to shore up that O-line specifically because Joe Burrow proved to you he can score a lot of points with a bad O-line. So just shore up that O-line a bit, work on the defense, draft well. You kept your weapons, you kept your guys. So just keep going from there. So yeah. Congratulations to Jamar and T. Higgins on those awesome deals. Moving on. I'm so excited for this. Yes. Let's go. Talking about some golf. The Players Championship wrapped up this morning, actually, due to there was a weather delay yesterday, and then there ended up being a playoff that took place today. But my boy, my guy, Rory McIlroy, finally won an important tournament. The Players Championship is well. I mean, a lot of people call it the fifth major, and it's for good reason. The purse is $25 million. It's played at TPC Sawgrass. It's definitely the most prestigious non-major tournament, and Rory managed to pull it off. He shot a 68 in the last round in very, very rough conditions yesterday, and this morning during his playoff, the conditions were even worse. He beat JJ Spawn in a 3-hole aggregate playoff this morning in 20-mile-per-hour gusts. It was rough this morning. He birdies the first, JJ Spawn bogeys the first, Rory bogeys the second, JJ Spawn triples the second, Rory bogeyed the third, and then that just wrapped it up because there was no way JJ could catch up. So Rory finally won. It was awesome. He played great this week. He really only had one bad round. That was round 3. He shot a 73, but he followed it up. He opened round 4 with a birdie eagle. That was the first time he's ever started 3 under 32 in his career. This was so much fun to watch because when Rory is hitting his driver well and he's hitting fairways, this guy wins tournaments. Yeah. His irons were dialed in. Trey's just eating and drinking and having a great time. He's celebrating Rory McIlroy's win with me. You know what? Well, let's do a little cheers. Let's cheers.
Cheers
to Rory McIlroy. Let's go. Come on.
I'll get my empty water bottle.
All right, there we go. Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Empty water bottle, guys.
Cheers. Super happy for my guy, Rory. He's hitting the driver well. His irons were dialed in. His wedges were dialed in. Dude, if I had food, I'd eat it too. We need to feast right now. We need to feast. And he looked really good. He putted extremely well. And I'm super, super happy for him. And I hope this is an indicator that he will be winning at least one major this year because this is an important tournament that he was able to win. Yeah,
I watched this tournament out of town. I even watched the play. I didn't watch the playoff live because I was on the flight, so I watched it though. And I will admit I was pretty impressed. I think he changed his swing just a little bit. Because I don't know if y'all noticed it, but he used to have he's a shot his club so much that he was really not really playing that good. He even said it too. But I think he can win a major this year. I really think so. And I think this is his time. I feel bad for Justin Thomas. That guy shot a 62. It was like round 2, I believe. And he didn't win. That shows a lot what golf is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
absolutely,
hope he wins the Masters because my favorite player is out.
Jaden, what do you think?
I thought it was incredible. To shoot a 73 and still come back and to win it. That just one bad round of golf in a tournament like this can just completely it can turn your game upside down and make you start playing real bad. And also it can just you get far enough down while everybody's just going up, it's hard to catch. So for him to shoot a 73 and still stay in it and keep his head in it and win, I think that's huge.
He was 4 back of the leader. JJ Spawn was leading after 3 and Rory was 4 back at the beginning of the 4th round. He fought and clawed his way back into that mix and won the playoff. And JJ Spawn had a putt to win it in 18. I was texting Trey. I was like, my goodness, if this guy makes his putt,
that guy came out of nowhere, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's been playing well this year, but I've never really heard of him. I think he's very young. I think he's a relatively new player. He played extremely well. Big props to JJ Spawn for stepping up at a very big tournament. Hey, he took home $2.7 million. I don't think there's anything to complain about that, along with 500 FedEx Cup points, because the Players Championship, in my eyes, is a 5th major. So Rory McIlroy won a major. I don't care what anybody says. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. But no, I agree with Trey. I think he can win the Masters. If he were to win a major, obviously the Masters, so he can complete his career Grand Slam.
Yeah.
But if he wants to win any of them, he can win any of them. I don't care which one. Just win one, please, Rory. Please, Rory, as your fan, because I saw you win back in 2014. And it was like the first golf tournament I actually watched and cared about. And you won. And I was like, yeah, you're my favorite from now on. That's literally how I picked Rory as my favorite golfer. Rory, as your best fan, I'm not your best fan, but as a fan, please win a major. Please. I'm really happy you won this tournament. I was stressing. I woke up early before work to watch the playoff, and oh man, it was sweet to watch. It was really sweet to watch.
It's crazy because it always happens to him where something like that happens and he loses.
Yeah.
That sucks. But he finally overcame that.
He did. Yeah.
JJ Spawn's 34 years old.
Okay, he's not young.
I don't even know what that guy even is.
Has he ever played in a tournament? He might. Is he young for playing in PGA? Because okay, let me see. No, he's been playing since 2014. Okay, awesome. No idea where this guy came from, but that happens to Rory a lot, where these guys who don't really play well have their best tournament ever when Rory's finally playing well, and they win sometimes. But Rory was able to overcome that and beat the very young JJ Spawn at 34 years old. So, no, I'm super pumped. I'm super excited. Happy for Rory. His game looks really good heading into a very, very important part of the season, because we all know what's coming up next month, right? Yeah. So super excited, super excited. But in sadder news, Trey, don't cry. Tiger Woods tore his Achilles, and it seems like it's over. I don't see how he's able to come back from such a devastating injury after so many devastating injuries. But that being said, if this is it and Tiger never plays another golf tournament, where does he stand in all of sports?
I've said it on record. He's the most dominant athlete I've ever seen in my life. The go of goats in my book. Sucks to hear that, because he was doing really good in TGL, swinging really good, and even at the PNC too. Look really good. He actually felt comfortable swinging for once, and then this happens. But I think he's the most dominant athlete of all time. I looked at all sports. I think he's done more than LeBron, than Tom Brady, than Michael Jordan. 4 majors in a row. In his prime, this guy was unstoppable. He was invincible to stop. No one could beat him. He intimidated people. I mean, Adam Scott went on Grant Harvick's show, a YouTube channel. He said, "Hey man, how's Tiger White in his prime?" He said he will intimidate you when you hit the first tee shot. He does that club twirl. He does. You're cooked. And looking at his record right now, Tiger Woods is 550. Tiger Woods has won 82 wins overall. Top of that, some of it was as including majors and also I think some, if I'm not mistaken, is European wins too. So that's up with that. Okay, he's been number 1 in the world for 13 years straight, from 97 to 2010. That's insane.
That's crazy.
That is insane. Scottie Scheffler can't beat that record. I don't care how great he is. He cannot beat that record.
I was waiting for the Scottie Scheffler.
He can't beat it.
He was waiting for it. There it is.
He'll never do it. Top of that, in the midst of winning 4 majors in a row, he's beating 550 golfers in a row. That's a lot of golfers he's beaten in this prime.
That's a lot of golfers.
And that's
a lot of golfers, man. Yeah.
And on top of that, he has the highest winning percentage in the PGA Tour of all time, better than Jack Nicklaus was 17%, compared to Jack was 14%. Top of that, and the final rounds of majors, final pairing, he's 14-1 in the playoff head-to-head. Jack is like 15 and he's 18, and he's 15-13. So the clearest who's to go in golf is Tiger and over Jack Nicklaus any day of the week. So his prime was probably the greatest golf era in the history of golf. He made golf fun, exciting, before a bunch of white dudes hitting the golf ball. Nobody cared. People were in the bars getting drunk at the end of the tournament to get over the headache and the round they had. Tiger made it to a sport where you can lift, run, and I wonder if he didn't get hurt. I wonder what prime Tiger Woods or today's golf course would be like. I want to know because in his prime, man, he was a beast, and he's the most dominant athlete of all time. Greatest ever touch a golf club. Earl Woods said it in the documentary that he probably has the greatest. There's nobody will ever top him mentally in golf. Nobody will ever top him. And Tiger, man, I'm kind of sad. I'm sad that he got hurt, and I feel bad for him. Started off with the Navy SEALs, where exercising where he shouldn't have done that. That's where it all started. And
probably not.
Because it sucks to see that, but Tiger's the GOAT, the most dominant athlete of all time.
All right.
My take on this won't be that long, but no, Tiger, an Achilles injury is, oh man.
Yeah. You just got to power through it.
Is that good, Trey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right. An Achilles injury, that's
bad.
It's hard to come back from.
Yeah.
I hope it's not the end of Tiger playing golf. Even if it's not professional golf, I just hope it's not the end of him playing golf because, that's been his life is golf. So, I hope if absolutely nothing else, I hope he could still come back and play the game. But he was in his prime. He was, like Trey said, he was dominant. He blew through everybody who he played against. He ran away with some tournaments where by Sunday it wasn't even like a question if he was going to win or not.
Yeah, like no,
and he was dominant for so long, and we don't really see that from a lot of people. So Tiger Woods, I hope he comes back from this to at least play the game of golf. It's a tough injury right there, but hopefully he gets a speedy recovery and we'll see him back soon.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, prayers up to Tiger. That's a rough one. Like Jaden was saying, and Achilles is very hard to come back from. It's a very important tendon, and when it ruptures, it's a lot. So big ups to him. Hopefully he comes back healthy. I don't know if he'll ever be able to play again, but if this is it, I just literally just times two what Trey said. He's the most dominant athlete ever in one of the toughest sports because there's no one else to rely on. It's not a team. You don't have a team to lean back on when you're playing bad. When you play bad, you just lose. It's just the way it goes. And Tiger dominated the sport for 13 years. He won 4 majors in a row. If he didn't have those personal issues, he'd probably be at 20-ish majors. If he didn't get in that car accident, he might have been able to win another one. So yeah, he's dominant. He means the most for any sport. Think of the best player of any sport: LeBron for basketball, Tom Brady for football, Messi for soccer, whoever else, Wayne Gretzky for hockey, Novak or Roger, whoever he had, or Nadal, whoever you think the tennis GOAT is. Think of all those people: Serena Williams, all of those. None of them are as important to their sport as Tiger Woods was to golf. He made golf popular. He made golf fun. He made golf cool. He made golf swaggy. He made it, like Trey was saying, it's not just a bunch of old white dudes hitting in the clubs. He made it a game where people could express themselves. And he completely changed the sport. And the reason that the Players Championship has $25 million in its purse is because of what Tiger Woods did for the sport. And that's just a fact. He literally did to golf what people think Jordan did for basketball. Jordan only really did that for basketball outside of the United States, like made it more popular outside of the United States. Tiger Woods made golf popular everywhere. He's an icon. He's the most important athlete for his sport in the history of sports. So yeah, huge blow to the sport, but I know he'll be involved in other capacities. So
yeah, and look at this. He even made 142 consecutive cuts in his career. Bro. And he's won the SB 4 times, dude.
Yeah.
4 times. LeBron's won 1. Kobe's won 1.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is so important to golf. This guy is important to golf. I don't want to hear old heads say, "Oh, well, we have better clubs today than was Jack Nicklaus." Like, dude, that's not my problem. Tiger Woods in his clubs as well. Guess what he did? And as a junior amateur, he won.
Yeah.
He beat early 25-year-old man at 13.
Yep. Yeah. This guy was very, very impressive, very, very important to the sport. So prayers up to him. We're going to move on to a little bit of college basketball here before we wrap up. So March Madness, the selections done, the brackets are being built because the official bracket's out. There's a lot of things to talk about in that capacity, but we're just going to start off with well, my Red Raiders are a 3rd seed, so in case y'all care about that. No, the Raiders, the Red Raiders have a pretty solid bracket. I like the teams that are there, but focus up, guys. Take each game very, very seriously because this is the true anything can happen, March Madness. I don't want to see some 35-year-old white dude hit 7 threes on my team. I will crash out. I will crash out if some old head white guy who's been at college Billy Bob for 17 years because he's a quintuple super senior hits 7 threes on my team. I will lose my mind. So Raiders, take every game serious. Treat every game with the respect that it deserves. But that being said, what do you guys think the biggest upset's going to be?
I think Tennessee gets upset.
Oh, in round 1?
Tennessee. Yeah, they're going to get upset. I don't dare consider consistent a little bit.
Wait, so who does Tennessee play? I have it up here. Tennessee plays Wolford? The Wolford Terriers? They play the Wolford Terriers. You think Tennessee's going to lose to the Wolford Terriers? There's probably some white dude that's going to hit 19 threes, bro.
Can't find a bracket. Okay,
yeah.
I found it. I can't see it, but you know what is what it is. I think any SEC team will get probably upset.
Okay.
I think any SEC team for sure.
Okay.
Maybe Auburn.
So they would either be playing Auburn would be playing Louisville or Creighton in their first game.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible. So I'll just go quickly because mine's quick. I think a 1 seed will lose in the first 2 rounds. So I think Auburn, Duke, Houston, or Florida could win and lose in their first 2 rounds. I really do.
Yeah.
I think we'll see a 1 seed upset. If I were to pick one, I'd say Auburn. Auburn feels to me like the most vulnerable 1 seed to me. So yeah. I think Auburn could lose to Creighton or Louisville in that second round. Yeah. Jaden, what do you think?
I think mine's the same as yours. I think
just a 1 seed. Yeah.
I don't know who is. Let me see.
Yeah, it's hard to pick. I haven't filled out my bracket yet, but I do feel like a 1 seed will lose. just because it's March Madness. I think they'll lose in the first 2 rounds. I feel that way. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Cooper Flag gets rest if it doesn't play, they're gonna lose.
So that leads to the next question. Do you think Duke should rest Cooper Flag?
Oh man, that's tough. I have to say he's their best player, man. He leads the team in every category, basically. I think if you want to win it all, I play. I think he should play. Because if not, they're over. Because they're gonna lose if he doesn't play.
Okay.
I think they have the potential to win without him.
Yeah.
And I think that, especially, on games where they might look, a little easier on them, for sure rest him.
Okay.
I just think, obviously it's March Madness and it's getting down to the wire and, you don't want to take any chances at losing, but, I think in certain situations you should look at resting him just because, with him being the best player, if you have here's my thing is if you have the opportunity to rest him, I say rest him. If not, then keep him in the game, obviously. But because with him being their best player, they need him, at 100% all the time. So
yeah. I think I literally am with Jaden. So I think they're a really good team. They have a lot of really good players, a lot of good freshmen. They can win without him. But here's the thing. If Cooper Flag is cleared by a doctor to play, let him play. I think that's what it should be. If he's ready to go and he says, "Hey guys, I want to play. Doc cleared me. Let me play. Let him play." I really do feel that way. So I'm confident they can beat a Mississippi State or Baylor without him, but at the same time, let him play if he's ready to play. So, this question is going to be tough for me because I haven't looked at the teams that missed it. But if you guys have, I assume Trey, you probably have one since you were the one that put that question on there. What teams do you think got robbed?
Okay, so I'm first to this real quick. So I'm a big UNC. I like UNC, North Carolina. They should have not been in it. They should have not been in it at all.
They're in the first 4. They're not in the official bracket,
Yeah.
So you don't even think they should be in the first 4?
No, because they didn't look good all season. I've watched them this season.
Yeah, I don't think Texas should have either. But
yeah, same with them too. I think those teams. I don't know. I don't think for sure UNC shouldn't be in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the teams that missed. I think one for sure. I had to say probably. I think West Virginia got robbed.
Okay.
They got robbed. They should have been in it. It should have been them over UNC overall.
Okay. Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I don't really know, because I haven't looked at the list of who's out yet or who didn't make it in. But I'll just do it the other way. I'm upset. I don't think Texas should have been in the first 4. You can be, you're just a hater because you like Texas Tech. Guys, they were 19-15.
Yeah.
They freaking sucked. They had a bad year. Like, they didn't beat like anybody. I think they beat Missouri and Texas A&M and Kentucky, and then they lost to everybody else. Like, okay. I just don't think they should have been in at all. I think that was an SEC, like, just let them in because they're in the SEC, so they played a tough schedule. But yeah, I don't think they should have been in. But that's just my thoughts. So
yeah.
that being said, as we wrap up here, final question. Since it is March Madness, what's the craziest memory that you guys have of March Madness?
I have two.
Okay.
One was Zion losing to Taco Fall.
Yeah.
That was the craziest one, dude. I mean, I was Duke winning it all that year. Mm-hmm. And freaking Zion Williamson versus Taco Fall, bro. Taco Fall won that team. Won.
That's crazy.
And it was upset. I was mad.
Yeah.
I was mad. I was so mad. Me and my friends watched it. It was in my old house. And we watched it. And it was like, man, what the heck? You gotta be kidding me. Like, what in the world just happened? So it's that one. Another one, too. Roy Williams puts Coach K out of his misery. His final year is coaching the Duke Blue Devils. UNC upsets Duke. And that's the last time we ever saw Coach K coaching ever again.
Okay. Jaden, do you have one?
Honestly, I just recently started watching, a lot of college, so I really can't say that I have one.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just there's a lot for me. You know where I'm going. 2019, Texas Tech. That run to the championship game was very, very special. I think the game that is most so the Gonzaga game was crazy because Gonzaga was a 1 seed that was in the Elite Eight. That game was awesome. That I remember that one pretty vividly. Jared Culver had 19, Matt Mooney 17, Moretti with 12. That game was awesome. Beating an awesome. I mean, Rui Hachimura was on that Gonzaga team. That was a very good Gonzaga team. They were the 1 seed, and that was great. So that one was awesome. The Michigan State game in the Final Four, that was awesome. Tech winning by 10. Matt Mooney had 22 that game. That was great. Xavier Tillman was on that Michigan State. They were 2 seed. So that was really great. But hey, just Tech was the 3 seed then in 2019 when we went to the championship. Am I saying we're going to the championship? No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying never know what happens. But definitely those. I'm excited. I hope this team goes far. But I'm excited for March Madness, man. I'm excited for all the games. I'm ready to rock. So that being said, guys, that wraps us up for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being here. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. It helps us out a lot. We appreciate everyone's support. Appreciate everyone that comments and likes the videos. It helps us out a lot. So be on the lookout for our next episode next week. We'll have this one posted up this week, and then be ready for another episode next week. Thank you guys so much for everything. We appreciate y'all so much. And yeah, we're excited and we're ready. We're ready to rock. Let's get this thing going. So thank you guys so much. We will see you next week. Peace out. And y'all have a fantastic rest of your week.